All right. Well, you ready to start?
Yeah. What is the Trivial Pursuit question of
I guess
the week?
I guess we've kind of already started.
Yeah.
Okay. So choose a category. So you may not know. I don't know if you know this. My computer. This is like the old, COVID Zoom days trick of stacking your. So if people aren't looking up your nostrils. So I've got like my computer stand thing, but then to get a little bit higher so that I'm like almost eye level with the
Okay.
camera, I have Trivial Pursuit. The box is like the perfect height. So I was like, why have I not been pulling out questions to challenge Tim
at random?
Yeah. So I pulled out a random card. I have not even looked at it.
Okay.
So I don't know any of the questions. I don't know any of the answers.
Is it like which edition?
This is Master Edition.
Okay.
And remember, probably 10 or 15 years ago, you and I played Amy and Alicia. And I don't remember if it was like couples teams or boys versus girls, but they pretty much sat there and hung out, and
yeah, probably.
And they were pretty annoyed with us by the end. I think we didn't get any of the Broadway plays and questions about the show Friends and stuff like that. But
yeah.
So choose a category. You got what is it? Blue is geography,
arts and entertainment. You got geography, history. Miscellaneous. Is that a category?
I don't think miscellaneous is a category. Let me look at. Okay, so it's geography. Should be arts and entertainment.
Arts and
history.
History.
Should be literature, I think.
Oh, literature. Yeah, that's the orange one, I believe.
And then no, that's purple. And then science.
Purple. Science.
And then sports and leisure.
Okay. Well, being a sports and leisure show, why don't we go with science?
Throwing me off there. Got to keep me on my toes. What's funny is the sports and leisure is, I don't know if you can see that.
What herb is
this
here? What the hell is that? I don't know, like a ficus?
I promise I did not look at the answer. I only know
like one or two herbs, and that's not one of them.
You only know one or two herbs?
I mean, I know a lot of herbs, but I mean, by picture, like if you showed me the plant, like,
oh, I see.
You're
out of context.
You're talking to a guy who buys his herbs in the Walmart, Great
Poultry
Value
pack.
brand. Yeah, the Great Value brand, pre-destroyed time or whatever. So yeah,
it's like dark
I couldn't
brown.
tell you, like, if you ask me to identify oregano by the plant, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Oh wow.
Like I briefly tried to grow an herb garden.
Okay.
When we lived in Vegas. And
what kind of herbs?
The kind of herbs that you would use in an herb garden for your kitchen, like oregano, dill, rosemary, thyme, cilantro. They cross-pollinated. Weirdly enough, dill and yes, the dill and the cilantro cross-pollinated, and we got Dillantro, which was a weird flavor combo.
I can imagine.
You like both of those flavors. You don't like both of those flavors together usually.
No.
So
yeah.
So at that point the herb garden had to go. So it was, I don't know if it was because we planted them all in like the same barrel. Like we got one of those. We got one of those old whiskey barrel garden things from Home Depot or whatever. And so I don't know if it was like because they were all in that same barrel that they cross-pollinated, or
just doing botany over there.
Just my shitty luck. I mean, I probably could have sold it at a farmer's market or something, Dillantro for
a big Dillantro.
What is it? So it looked like possibly rosemary.
I think it's rosemary. I think it's going to be
Uh,
rosemary.
like,
I don't want to look yet because I don't want to know the answer
I've
for
seen
the.
enough. I've seen enough like cooking shows to kind of remember vaguely what a fresh sprig of rosemary would look like.
It's rosemary.
Okay.
It's rosemary. Yep. Yep. I didn't look at any of the other answers. So just so everybody knows. Okay, so you said science.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll go with
interesting.
science.
What are you afraid of if you suffer from pterygophobia?
Tarot.
So it's PTERYGO phobia.
Pterigo.
Like a
Like a
pterodactyl.
pterodactyl. Except
I'm gonna say you're afraid of pterodactyls.
Pterigo. Wings?
Ooh,
Winged
things with
objects?
dude. I think this is a fear of birds.
Things with
This
wings?
is your fear.
No, fear of birds is aviophobia.
Oh, it's fear of flying.
Fear of flying.
Interesting. So if you have
Pterygophobia,
then you're
you are
afraid of flying.
You're afraid of flying.
Very interesting.
Okay.
You want to choose another one?
Let's see what the sports category was.
That was the rosemary. Sports and leisure was.
That was
yes. I know. It's
wait,
like under leisure.
show that again. Wait, what?
What herb is shown here? And it's rosemary.
That's sports and leisure?
Yes.
No way. That feels like okay.
What's funny is the geography question is sports related. So the geography question
what's the geography question?
Who performed at the first concerts held at each of the two New York Mets stadiums, one 44 years after the other? It's got to be like
Billy Joel.
It's got to be like Rolling Stones or something.
No, it's got to be like Billy Joel. He's from like, isn't he from that borough?
The Bronx.
The Bronx.
Where do they play? Where do they play?
I don't. Flushing Meadows, right?
All right, let's look.
I don't.
Oh, we were both wrong.
We were both
Paul
wrong.
McCartney. 1965, he played at Shea Stadium with the Beatles, and in 2009, he played Citi Field solo.
Wow.
All right. Okay. Well, there we go. There we go.
They didn't really say like once with a band and once as a solo artist, though.
They did not do that. A little tricky question there.
That's a little trick question there.
Yeah.
Tricky wording.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Some rust to knock off, I guess.
The
Trivial Pursuit. We'll get back in form.
I haven't played in a while because I don't have a playing partner. You know?
Well, here we go. We'll just play Trivial Pursuit for the first 20 minutes.
20 minutes every week. Sounds good. All right.
All right. Well, go ahead.
Let's go Dodgers. Oh, man. Well, the Dodgers did it back to back. First team in 25 years to repeat as champions. And barely at that. Game six was a nail biter.
Yeah.
Thanks to some very fluffy padding in the outfield wall, the Dodgers were able to hang in. And quick thinking on both Kike and who was playing center field at that point? James. I can't remember. Anyway, very quick thinking, because if anybody touches the ball in a dead ball situation, it's not a dead ball anymore.
Ooh.
So had he like actually grabbed the ball before the umpire declared it a dead ball, it would not have been a dead ball, and the Dodgers would have lost in 6. So
that's wild.
Good heads up. Game 7 was crazy. Bo Bichette hit a 3-run homer off of Ohtani, and I thought like it was pretty much over at that point. Like that's a 3-0 lead. Like
right.
Dodgers bats are ice cold. The relief pitching has not been there this year, especially in the postseason. So
Yeah.
I was really worried. And then somehow just they kept clawing and fighting and got back in it and tied the game. And then Will Smith put one over the fence to take the lead. And Yamamoto on 0 days rest comes out of the bullpen to close it down. Like,
Crazy.
yeah.
And he won MVP, right?
Yeah, he had to have
So,
won
yeah,
MVP.
yeah.
Like if he didn't, so if the Jays would have won, Savage probably should have been the MVP.
Yeah.
They probably would have given it to Vladdy anyway. But what I mean, like the pitching in this series was the starting pitching was crazy.
Yeah.
Like Savage, he won both his starts. Or no, he should have won his second start. He won his first one. And then Scherzer was on fire in game 7.
The one that got away.
Just Dodgers kind of got lucky, kind of got good.
Yeah.
I mean, when it mattered, like,
right.
I mean, that's the thing, baseball's like a one at bat, pitch by pitch kind of a sport. And you can't, like you can't take anything for granted. But yeah, it was a crazy time sitting there watching how the fans were kind of like, I think the fans in Toronto thought they had it. Won.
Oh yeah.
And like they were getting ready to celebrate. And then just how silent they get.
I think the whole country of Canada for those 2 days thought we got this. We've got the World Series. And whoops. Nope.
I do have an interesting excuse me. So we talked about how TV's ruining sports last time, right? So
yeah.
Other technology is not ruining sports. I don't want to say that. But so AI, because of what AI is and how it works, I got how on your phone, like, I don't know if you have an iPhone, so I don't know if it's the same for you, but on Android phones, Google has like notifications that just show up based on your interests and stuff.
That
like
sounds
news,
like something that would be like very annoying.
Like news notifications. Okay. You can turn it off if you want, but I keep it on anyway. So it's I think it was the 10th. After the 10th inning, I get this notification popped up that says Clayton Kershaw. Well, let me look at it because I screenshotted it because it was kind of funny. Where's my screenshots? Okay. So it says Kershaw's career ends, which was going to happen because it was his last game no matter what. And it said, and then the subhead was Clayton Kershaw's decorated career ends quietly after the Dodgers Game 7 win. And that came out at 12:03 with the score tied. Like, I screenshot it. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
So basically
somebody pushed.
So what I think happened is that, like, the sports writing, well, all news in general has been destroyed by the internet's inability to just be patient.
Yeah.
So like all the writers are basically like writing two versions of the story the day, the day before, whatever.
Yeah.
and basically like filing the story on their news server, but it's like private, like it's not published yet until they, whichever one, and then they finish editing it during the game or whatever to add in details or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what I think happened was AI, because it just constantly searching and crawling through servers and stuff to gain information and constantly get better. It must have like found enough articles that were talking about the Dodgers winning the World Series that it knows, like Google knows that I followed the Dodgers, so it pushed that one to me. Because I think Alicia showed me pictures of like other people had posted stuff like that was basically the Blue Jays winning.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like AI is just because it doesn't know what it's doing, and it's only it's programmed to do whatever the humans tell it to do, and what the humans have told it to do is basically like go forth and steal as much knowledge as possible,
right?
And then disseminate that information whether you know what you're doing or not. But yeah, so it was kind of funny because I was like, oh really? And then the 11th inning happened. I was like, okay, well maybe AI is onto something here.
Yeah. Wow. So instead of is TV ruining sports, it should be is breaking
AI.
news. Yeah, or is breaking news journalism.
Yeah, I mean,
all that stuff.
Are sports ruining sports? I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Oh wow, that's hilarious. Well, congrats.
Yeah,
back
was
to back.
Great weekend.
I mean, do you think they can three-peat? You gotta look to that, right?
I didn't think they could do this, back to back, because I thought they were going to get swept by I thought they were going to be beat by the Brewers, and then they swept them. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of faith in my team, I guess, and maybe that's what's working. So yeah, I think we can solve our bullpen issues, probably. But also, I mean, like, and we'll talk about this later, like in the main event, like it's a long season,
right?
So anything can happen. Yeah.
So I just looked up, speaking of AI, the AI overview for World Series three-peat. The most recent three-peat was the Yankees from 98 to 2000.
2000, yep.
So interesting. And that's also, I guess, the last back-to-back, right?
Yeah.
So the Yankees have done it 3 times, 98 to 2000, 49 to 53, a 5-peat.
Yeah.
36 to 39, a 4-peat. And after 3-peat, you should really just say 4 in a row or 5 in a row. We shouldn't be using peat on that.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And then the Athletics won 3 consecutive titles. Nobody else has done it. That's it.
Kind of funny.
Been done 4 times. Wow.
Kind of funny that the Yankees like have, what was that, 4 spurts where they just kind of won 3 in a row, and then
3 different ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had 4 in a row, 5 in a row,
5 in a row, 3 in a row,
3 in a row. Yeah.
And then they've won 26 overall, right?
It's something like that. Yeah.
No,
it's less than that, because it's less than the Montreal Canadiens have the most championships of any franchise, I believe. How many World Series have the Yankees won? That's what
I thought the Canadiens were at 27.
No, right? Canadiens are at 24.
24. Okay.
The Yankees have 27. Wow.
27. Okay. I knew that 26 or 27 was the. Yeah, well, yeah, it helps that the Yankees three-peated in, 98 to 2000.
Right.
And the Canadians are lucky to make it to the Stanley Cup playoffs.
This year, though, they're in charge of the Atlantic Division, which is kind of interesting. So
for now,
for now, till the Red Wings overtake them. But
yeah.
Well, yeah, congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Your team's just winning champion. I think how many championships have your teams won in the last? So you had the Golden
So
Knights,
we had the Golden Knights in
23.
23. We had the Dodgers in 2020.
Jeez, man.
VGK in 2023, Dodgers the last 2 years. Just need my Colts to step it up here. My newfound
Yeah,
my newfound love of the Colts.
right.
Although after yesterday, woof, not looking good. Yeah, those are the only championships that my teams have won. While we're on
the Pacers went to the finals.
Pacers went to the finals. While we're on the subject of championships your teams have won, like I get that Fanatics has the monopoly.
Oh yeah,
but $55 for the championship shirt
for a T-shirt.
For the T-shirt,
that's price gouging.
It's beyond price gouging, and they're dicks about it too, because they're like, so literally like the game was over and I was on the site, because obviously you have to,
right. Yeah.
And they're like, it's gonna sell out soon, almost sold out. I'm like, you haven't even printed them yet. Like you printed 75 of them for the team.
Yeah.
You're not even like, you printing these on demand, basically.
Right.
Like, number one, don't tell me that they're almost sold out. And number two, $55 for a fucking T-shirt.
Yeah.
It is a pretty badass T-shirt though, because it's printed on both sides. It's got the world champs, and then it's got on the back it says "We own October." So, which, I guess when you repeat, you do kind of own October.
You do start to take ownership.
So, yeah. But yeah, like it's just, it's ridiculous. Like, I know that in like 3 or 4 more months, I can probably buy discounted, but then I can't wear it until, spring training.
Right.
And I need to be able to gloat now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. You gotta be. Yeah. You gotta be able to.
Hello. So
well, tell me about the Colts implosion versus the Steelers.
Oh my goodness. I recently this season jumped ship from the Steelers to the Colts because the Steelers pissed me off with the whole bringing in Aaron Rodgers thing and not firing Mike Tomlin and all the 8-8, 9-7, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, so then the Colts played in Pittsburgh this week, and Daniel Jones showed why he's Daniel Jones, the quarterback for the Colts, who was the quarterback for the Giants when they sucked for the last 4 years. Dude throws 6 interceptions, had a fumble. Just it was bad.
How many interceptions?
He threw.
Oh, so it's 5. 6 total turnovers
first.
Oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers forced 6 total turnovers.
6 total turnovers. You're right. Yes, it was 5 interceptions and a fumble.
No, it's 2. It says 2 fumbles in addition to his 3 interceptions. How do you fumble twice? And how do you not get pulled out of the game?
I knew he had all 5 of the. Yeah. I don't know. How do you, yeah, exactly. How
Who was the coach?
Who was the coach? Frank Reich? I don't know, man. Who was
That's wild.
Shit, I don't even know. I should probably know a little bit more about my
team,
but yeah, I was watching it, and like the one positive I guess you could take from it, if you can take a positive from a 6 turnover game, is that they only lost by a touchdown.
Right.
The Steelers could not do anything with the turnovers.
Right.
So it was kind of, it was like, okay, yeah, it sucks to turn the ball over that much. Imagine it probably could have been a win if Daniel Jones didn't throw 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like
you
at
would
the
hope.
same time, like I mean, to only lose by a touchdown as opposed to like getting blown out 42-20, like
Right.
that score
Right.
could have easily gotten out of hand.
Yeah.
So I
That's hilarious.
I don't know. Just a bad week to be a Colts fan against your old team, you know.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. Gets the regret
it made
going.
me feel stupid.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Even in your just having won the World Series, you know?
Yeah, yeah, you're going from that, but you're going from that high of like just won the World Series to like watching ineptitude from your
Yeah.
other teams.
Yeah.
Pacers finally got a win over the weekend.
Have they not won?
They had not won. So
Wow.
yeah, they finally eked one out over Golden State. Um, yeah. So I guess it was not a good week to be a sports fan for me. Everton ended up with a draw.
Okay.
Yeah, Pacers won 114-109 over the Warriors on Saturday night. Yeah, and then now they're playing the Bucks, so they'll probably lose there.
Not enough faith in your team.
Well, I don't really have faith in a whole lot of anything so anymore.
I guess that's just kind of across the
Faith,
board then, eh?
yeah, faith never really got me anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Well, you've got on here Tim's fantasy football failure. So,
yeah, so
is this a new recurring segment or?
This might be a new recurring segment. I don't know. I just thought it would be funny to share this. Yeah, so this is my current fantasy this week. Week 9, I am the Cap City Crushers.
Cap City Crusher because of Capital City, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Columbus is the capital city. I was the Steel City Slayers, but now that I hate Pittsburgh,
Okay.
I switched over to Cap
Since
City Crushers.
03. Damn.
Since
On
2003. So I've been playing on Yahoo for 22 years.
I remember we had our league on there where you and I drafted 3 teams each.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure my Puritan Avenue boys won named after a very small, dumb gang in Detroit. I'm pretty sure.
So I keep forgetting to check my lineup before Thursday. And
oh, whoops.
So this is what keeps happening to me is I keep leaving guys in on a bye.
Okay. So I see the problem here.
Yeah. So the problem is that I don't check my team before Thursday, and then I got guys on a bye.
Whoops.
And so then I'm losing. Like I won one game, and I'm pretty sure that was week 1. Let's see. Just out of curiosity, when was my win here? Cap City Crushers. Yeah, I beat our commissioner.
Okay.
So that's probably
Banana Republic. That's hilarious.
Banana Republic. Yeah, so I beat him. I lost to my wife by 4 points here.
My Little Ponies.
My Little Ponies.
Look at all those chickens. That's what is the name
of I don't know what this is about, but yeah, so I was doing okay in the beginning, at least, checking my roster, but
yeah,
of late it's been kind of difficult. So I mean, not difficult, I'm just lazy and I don't check my team.
You gotta put a reminder on your phone.
But I just thought it was kind of funny how like I've got
60 points,
4 guys on a bye, and then I'm looking at it like this week, if I would have started if I would have put this guy in, as a quarterback,
Right.
That's 21 extra points there. This wide receiver who I don't even know who he is, and I let my team get auto drafted. Like this
I
guy,
remember you talking about that.
40 points.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to definitely after the Monday night games go through and check my roster for next week. I suppose I could do it right now.
That's true. Yeah, you could do it. Yeah.
But it looks like, oh, I got a guy on a bye next week. Let's fix that right now.
Trade him out.
Let's see. Nick Chubb playing Jacksonville. Sure. Jacksonville sucks, right? Like,
I have no idea.
that's got to be.
I really do not know.
Oh, Jacksonville gives up the 8th fewest fantasy points to the running back position. Okay.
I do like how they show
that
those
might
kinds
not
of
be
things.
that
That's
might
always
not be a
nice.
good idea. Oh, Baltimore gives up the 5th most fantasy points to running backs. So I guess I want to start this guy,
There you go.
even though he's probably a backup or something.
Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
26%
Also,
start.
it also didn't help that like I have Jonathan Taylor and the Steelers held him to like nothing last week or yesterday.
Well, kind of hard to get any points when you quarterback's fumbling the ball all game.
Yeah. So, all right, yeah.
Wow.
So
So you're what? You're
I'm 1-8.
Jeez, 1-7.
Or 1-7. Well, I'm gonna be 1-8 after today.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
I'm coming back here.
No,
guys.
probably not. Do
the
you have
good
anybody
news,
playing right now?
Dude, I didn't have anybody playing at all. I mean, come on. I should have started this
Wow.
guy, and then I would have had like all my wide receivers on a bye.
Yep.
I had my tight end on a bye, 2 of my wide receivers. Man, dude,
Man.
I was like a running back short of everybody being on a bye this week on
Yeah.
offense.
Yeah.
The good news is everybody makes playoffs because there's only 8 teams.
Oh, nice.
So you
never know.
You never know. I could get on an epic run there.
Cinderella story.
And come back and win the championship from 8th place. I doubt
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, I've not played fantasy football in 10 years, I think.
I'm like, I don't know why I still do, because I don't like
yeah.
I don't pay attention. It's just like I don't know. At this point, it's like the last vestige of religion in my life, you know.
Yeah.
It's just something you kind of do because you've been doing it for so long.
Just keep showing up. Keep getting up on Sundays.
Keep getting there. Yeah.
Well, that kind of, religion leads well into people being stupid.
Yep.
It's time for our recurring segment of
people being stupid. You guys got to quit being stupid. We won't have any material.
That's right. So, I don't know if you saw this.
I did.
A fan is hospitalized after a fall at a Penguins game.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, right? That's like so rare, right? No, it's the 3rd time this has happened at a Pittsburgh venue this year.
I was going to say.
And you got to think, oh, wow, they really need to fix that arena.
What are the odds?
No, it has happened at all 3.
All 3 of their parks. Yep.
This is why I don't drink Yingling anymore. What are they putting in that shit, man? Like,
I don't know.
What are you guys doing in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, what is going on? Like you're I mean, they're going to have to put those like suicide nets up over like every deck in the Pittsburgh sports complexes. Like the guy this summer falling over the wall in PNC Park. It's like, I don't know how you get that close to the wall to fall in the first place, but okay. Falling from the upper deck is like, it's got to be a scary thing. I'm scared to even sit in the upper deck, to be
It
honest,
they
anymore
are
with
very steep.
the way
Yeah.
that stadiums are pitching their seating, like so
Yeah.
steep. Um, and then I have vertigo on top of that. So like to be sitting like almost vertically
Yeah.
over the playing surface, like I have a hard enough time buying tickets for upper bowl. Like if I do, I try to get like first two rows.
Yeah.
Just because at least then you're closer to the like edge where you've got
Yeah.
a wall in
Right.
front of you. But most of these arenas too have like that glass,
Yeah.
like the I don't know, it's not very high. It's like maybe
Yeah.
of
It only
18
comes up to
inches.
like my hip at Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah, which is the legal, probably the
Yeah.
code.
Oh, it's up to code, I'm sure.
You know, the very the very bare minimum of the
Yeah.
code. You know,
Yeah.
is like 41 and 7/8 inches.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, and it had to be 41 and 5/16 or something. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what are you ends doing that you keep falling
Right.
over just out of the stands. Like
Crazy. And
UPMC is cashing
yeah,
in. I mean,
right.
I guess
people watching the pit, and they're trying to get on they're trying to get their story in the show The Pit on HBO Max, you know.
It pays to be the only hospital downtown there, right? Like,
yeah. He fell from the 200 level of the arena
to the 100
and
level.
hit another person. He struck an individual located in the suite level before continuing to fall to the 100 level.
Were they
like,
trying
can you
to
imagine?
catch him?
Boom, boom. Like, dude,
Were they trying to catch him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, they like reach out. They're like, oh, maybe I can do one of those those movie, you know, dramatic movie, you know, I grab him by his boot and hold him up and we pull him up over the I'm gonna be a hero today.
I don't think the people in the suite section care that much.
Probably not.
They're probably yeah.
What would have been kind of humorous would be if the person in the suite section was actually trying to do that, but then they got like they just barely grabbed him in time and then they went flying over with him. You know, it's like now we've got two Yinzers in the lower bowl heading to UPMC.
Now that sounds like something out of the show 911. Remember that show? It was like
Reno 911.
No. There's some new show. It's called like 911, and it's on. I think it's on Fox or something. But it was on when we were in, not Pittsburgh, but that area, Western PA, and we were in that hotel bar. It was the show that was on, and there was like the tsunami that like flooded LA. And it was like over the top dramatic.
Yeah.
That's apparently every episode of that show is like some major catastrophe.
Who calls 911 for a
it's
tsunami though?
Like, I know it's so weird. Yeah, exactly. What are you doing?
I'm not really wasting my time calling them.
No.
I feel like the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association should have already handled that call for me. That's what my taxes are for, right?
Yeah. In this government. Well, another people being stupid. This just came across my desk. Meaning I was on the Athletic website and I just saw this and I thought, that's hilarious. I got to add this one. Former Atlantic Hawks senior VP charged with embezzling $3.8 million to buy Porsche, tickets. You don't need $3.8 million to buy a Porsche, first of all. Second of all, if you're a senior VP for an NBA team, you probably could have afforded a Porsche by yourself.
I was going to say, you probably got Porsche money, right? Like,
you know what? Let me look it up.
I mean,
senior VP salary.
No, the
NBA team. Let's see what Google AI. Yeah. A senior vice president salary at an NBA team varies by location and specific role, but falls in the range of approximately $241,000 to $382,000 per year. That's Porsche money. You can definitely buy a Porsche for that.
Well, it depends.
What's a Porsche?
I'm looking at them right now. So the 718 Boxster GTS is $105,000. The Spider RS is 170 grand.
Okay.
The Cayman GT4 RS is 170 grand.
This is putting things into perspective for me. I didn't realize Porsches were this much money.
I didn't know they were either. I mean, when I was a kid, they were like what, $50,000? Like,
I'm pretty sure like Chevys are $50,000.
The now. Yeah, all cars, man. I'm looking to buy a new car and it sucks. So here's the Porsche website. The 911 Carrera 4 GTS, $184,000.
$184,000.
You can save money by getting the drop top though, so that's kind of cool.
If you're looking for the bargain option.
If you're looking for the bargain, yeah, the bargain option. I think though, yeah, they drop the horsepower on the. Obviously, you can't be flipping one of these because you got no roof.
Right. Yeah. I love that they put the price really small, but then the three main the three key pieces of information are your 0 to 60 speed, your max engine power, and your top track speed with summer tires.
$230,000 for the 911 GT3.
That's a slick looking car though. Look at
that. That's the touring package. So I bet you get a cup holder in there.
193 miles an hour.
This one's got a spoiler on the back.
You would need one, yeah.
Top track speed. Dang, dude, 250 grand. This thing's like straight out of GT Gran Turismo or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang, $284,000 for the Cabriolet.
Top track speed of 200 miles an hour. That's nuts. That was a turbo. Wow.
Oh, they got electric models for a bargain.
143 miles an hour in an electric car. Dude.
And it'll only cost you $108,000.
That's actually not bad.
It's not terrible.
The only Porsche.
But the only problem is that the $7,500 government tax credit is gone. So
yeah, it's a bummer.
Oh, and it says these potential tariffs might bring your cost up. So
does it really say that?
It really does. It says manufacturer's suggested retail price, options, taxes, title, registration, delivery, processing, handling, dealer charge, potential tariffs. I thought tariffs were paid by the person who was selling me the thing.
What a time to be alive.
It's almost like somebody lied to me. Oh, man.
That's like sales tax. It's like,
this is an electric.
Why are you passing sales tax on to me? That's so weird.
This is an electric car that sells for $239,000.
That looks pretty slick in purple though too.
I mean, I guess I'd embezzle $3.8 million so I could.
Yeah, you don't need that much money. That's the thing.
Well, what's the cash price? I mean, that's the thing. Like, is this the cash price? Dang, dude, that's crazy. I didn't realize
that. Now I'm doing car loan calculator.
I didn't realize. I don't think you get a loan for a Porsche, right? Like, is that possible? Let's see.
What are we talking about? What is it?
New and used inventory. Okay.
135, we'll just say, okay. 135,000. 60 months, you want to say? 5%?
Sure. Why not? Retail finance.
Your monthly payment is more than my mortgage. That's crazy.
Your down payment must be between $0 and $160. So if you put a 10% down payment on this model here, which is the Pan America 4S. So if you put a 10% down payment, you still are paying $5,200 a month at 7% interest.
That's a 30-month loan, though.
And that's assuming
that's a pretty short loan.
Okay, well, all right. Let's take it out to the max. What do we got?
7 year. Yeah.
Everybody's doing 7-year car loans these days.
They are, yeah.
But still,
$2,100.
That's like
a house.
Yeah, that's a mortgage, man. Or rent in some cities. And it depends on if you, let's see,
Yeah,
if you
what's
have
your
if you have the worst credit score and you're thinking about buying a Porsche,
yeah? What's
this show suddenly just became a personal finance show. 16% APR.
16% interest. Just buy it on your credit card, dude.
Like, I can't imagine you going into a Porsche dealership and you're like, yeah, I'm a baller. I got a 648 credit score.
Imagine having $16,000 in the bank to spend on a down payment on a Porsche.
What if you don't?
But having a
anything
credit score of
down?
like 630. Yeah.
Let's see, because it says you can put 0 down. Let's see, what do we got here?
Yeah. Oh, not too bad. Unfortunately, we're unable to calculate your desired amount.
Well, but what if I have perfect credit though? Because I do.
Right. So only if you have perfect credit can you do 0 down. All right.
I don't know. Well, I don't
like,
know.
we're getting something from you.
Yeah. So I have perfect credit.
Wow.
I mean, not perfect because nobody has perfect.
Yeah.
But my credit is above 740, so I could put 0 down on a 7-year loan for this Porsche and pay 3 times what I pay for rent on my apartment per month.
So 2420 times 84. You end up paying 40 grand in interest. $42,000 in interest.
Man, imagine if you could save that 40 grand and, wow.
For a car.
And that's not even like, you're not even paying insurance. You're not putting gas in it. You're not putting
your insurance.
You're not paying your title.
Shit.
And if you live in my neighborhood, you're not driving a Porsche anyway because it might
a good
not
way to
be
get
there
jacked.
the next day. Wow. So yeah, on the personal finance side of things, guys, just don't buy a Porsche unless you're planning on stealing $3.8 million from your employer sometime soon. No wonder the guy he was probably trying to figure out how he's going to pay 40 grand in interest over the next 8 years.
It's probably true. It all starts at home, and the Moranville Brothers take no responsibility for your personal financial decisions. This is not meant to be.
It's not meant to be a financial advice. I mean, even if it's good, even if it's good financial advice.
Yeah. Wow.
That's the thing.
Oh, here it is. Jones is in a romantic relationship with another team employee, and he used some of the money he's accused of stealing to buy her expensive gifts. The woman, who could not be reached for comment, also no longer works for the Hawks. At least the Coldplay couple only just, went to Coldplay concerts in a different city. There wasn't embezzlement going on.
You ever hear that saying, don't shit where you eat? Yeah. This is like,
wow.
Was he buying her stuff to try to like not get a sexual harassment lawsuit or some kind of like fraternization? Like, because I'm sure that she was not a senior VP.
Yeah, right.
Or above level, like, so it would have been fraternization. And most companies do have some form of policy on that.
Okay, but I have to read this from the Athletic
what were
article.
The tickets? What were the tickets he was buying though? Like,
let's
hey, baby,
see.
You want to go to a Hawks game tonight?
Yeah, it just says bought tickets to concerts and other events. It
no
doesn't say specific
concerts, or this would have come out earlier, huh?
It does say Bahamas, Hawaii, Thailand, Switzerland, and other countries. So he was like traveling the world. So I have to read this part though. The Athletic article. When it was time for him to pay the bill from January 2025, so he tried to cover up his.
He tried to put it back.
He controlled the team's American Express card and had the ability to authorize charges. So he was spending all this money. And when it was time for him to pay the bill from January 2025, prosecutors say Jones falsely changed an email from American Express. Yikes, dude. Imagine like doing this to trick the Hawks into paying for his personal spending. When he asked a Hawks employee to fill out a reimbursement form for $229,968.76. He said the money had been used on, quote, NBA Emirates Cup, tickets, credentials, logistics, room. The next day, he received a legitimate email from American Express with a bill for roughly that amount. He then sent an altered version of that email to coworkers in the financial department, according to the indictment. Dude. Like, the links you have, like, dude. What? I can understand, like, okay, I got this credit card. Oh man, like, I could kind of make, like, I could kind of in my head, like, make this a business expense kind of thing, and like I'll just expense it. I'll get somebody to sign off on the expense, whatever. Like, going through full like wire fraud to like try to dupe this like $1 billion company, which is what an NBA team is.
Yeah.
You're a dumb person.
Well, why is the Amex approving the charges though? That's what I want to know too. Is like
they don't care.
But they should. I mean,
they're getting their 5%.
Yeah, but at a certain point, well, no, because
those transaction fees.
Yeah, those transaction fees, they don't care. But I mean, at a certain point, like, this guy's putting a trip to Thailand on the Hawks business card. Like, they've got no business in Thailand. Like, I could see China, like, because the NBA scouts over there, they work with different Chinese basketball teams. I could see like some certain European countries, but like Thailand, like, I don't know.
Definitely feels like something maybe like, so I, as listeners know, as our 3 listeners know, I'm a small business owner. One of my businesses, I have managers who have credit cards assigned to them. They're connected to the main business account. I don't know how this works on like $1 billion scale, but on a $1,000 scale, I can set a credit limit for each person's card.
Yeah.
Also, all of the charges show up like in the same sort of thing. So when I'm going and like reconciling all the stuff, I can see all of this. Obviously, I can't see like itemized stuff, but if somebody spent some money, I'd be like, oh, hey, I need the receipt for that. I need an itemized receipt for the IRS, because you got to file that shit. You don't have to file it, but you have to keep it on file in case you get audited. But like, who's letting this guy have a credit limit of
unlimited,
like $250,000?
And
I mean, I guess if he's arranging like team travel and stuff like that, but like, there's got to be a much more stringent checks and process for that.
Most teams are flying private. They own private jets, so that's not like, you're not expensing. You're not putting Delta tickets on a credit card. But it also it also kind of begs the question, like, because I've been seeing like nothing but.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Do you think he flew economy? Like he's like I want to do embezzlement, but I mean, I got to be realistic,
Yeah, I don't know. But like I've been seeing a lot of these like business credit card commercials lately. Like during the World Series, I think it was like Capital One Venture Business or whatever, and then the Amex Platinum whatever. And it says on there, like, unlimited spending doesn't mean like, or like, no preset spending limit doesn't mean unlimited spending. Well, like, obviously it does at a certain point. If you're letting a guy charge $250,000 on like it,
right?
Like
in a month,
That's
not like
month. Like you're not. I don't care what the value of the company is. I don't care what the revenues of the company are. And I know that, Amex probably keeps track of all of that stuff for their algorithm or whatever calculates when to decline charges or whatever. Right. But like, there's no way there's a company on this planet that can get away with charging $250,000 on one person's card, because
Like,
all those cards have different numbers, right?
right. No,
So
yeah, yeah.
like it's all the same
Exactly.
account, but it's a different card number, so you can
Yes.
track which employee used
Yes,
which
exactly.
card.
Exactly.
So
And also like
somebody didn't do their
at
due
this
diligence there.
and
And
at this like
I'm not
number,
excusing his behavior, but
no. This is a systemic issue that's led to a instantaneous problem. Uh and like the other thing is like this amount of money, why are you using credit? Like you don't need to be using credit cards. This is like wire transfer type money. Like this is not how normal things operate. I don't know. There's a whole lot to dig into on that one. Anyways.
well, he'll have a lot of time to explain when he's in
Minimum security prison.
federal minimum security prison, writing his book about it so that it can get turned into a movie, because, why not?
Oh man.
All right. Speaking of the NBA and crime,
Yeah.
maybe the NBA should just shut down. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
they're having a bad month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the this just in from the NBA's crime
Right.
department.
There you go. Law and Order NBA.
The Law and Order NBA edition. Bum bum.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so apparently NBA players, coaches, former players, coaches love their money. Current VPs love that money. And they have to find creative ways to obtain that money. And one of those ways sometimes involves hooking up with the mafia to work on an illegal gambling operation.
Who among us has not tried to join up with the mafia?
Every once in a while, I'm like, this teaching thing, maybe I'll get on the horn with the mob and we'll run a gambling operation. Like, first of all, how do you even get those contacts? Like, how are you, like, what circle is Chauncey Billups running in that also, like, the Gotti crime family is running in?
Right.
Like, I don't feel like there's a whole lot of overlap there between, like, professional basketball player and coach and professional racketeer.
Yeah.
Apparently there is. And there was.
Is that the family that
So,
is that the? Is
I don't
that
know
the,
which family it was.
okay.
And I mean, sorry if you're a Gotti crime family member and you're
I
listening.
can find you.
No, you guys are like
You're a marked man.
You're like the Kleenex of crime families, like you're the brand name. Okay. I didn't mean offense.
The Q-tip.
It's like when we call it Coke, and they're like, but we only have Pepsi. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what the Bulger crime family. What's the other, I don't know how many syndicates there are. I am but a simple white guy who's not of Italian heritage, so I am not in the mafia. If I wake up with a horse head in my bed tomorrow, we'll know what happened.
Yeah, you'll know.
Yeah, so there was this gambling ring going on, and it was the mafia part was running like an illegal gambling racket, basically, like they do, where they run like a poker game, and they were rigging the poker game so they could make sure that they, like, the people who were betting in their illegal casino were losing.
Okay.
So, there's like different levels of that going on. And then on the NBA side of it, they were using inside information to either place bets or give the information to other people who were placing bets on games.
Okay.
But
am I correct in saying that Chauncey Billups was not involved in that part of it, right? Is that true?
I don't know what part of it he was involved in. I didn't really like read the indictment. But it just said that he's like, let's see. So
Because I was listening to while you look that up, I was listening to
I'm trying
a
to
hockey
look up.
podcast today, 32 Thoughts, and uh, they were basically saying like, they got a listener question about this, and saying like, is it time for leagues to just basically abandon sports betting and that sort of thing, like if it's causing this
Yeah.
much trouble. And basically what they were saying is like, actually, and they were talking about the NHL. The NHL doesn't really care if NHL players bet on sports or gamble money in general, as long as they're not betting on the NHL, and as long as they're not, as long as they're doing their gambling legally. Because one of the issues is when you get involved with, the one, insert name of a mafia family here, because I'm not trying to wake up the horse head. When you get involved with one of these families, or any sort of illegal gambling racket, you open yourself up to basically like being blackmailed or being held, for your losses and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, now you owe us insider information on your stuff. And so that's where they say, okay, keep it, keep gamble whatever you want, just don't do it on your own sport, because you have, an interest in that, and don't do it in outside of sort of like the legal things that are set up or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, it says Chauncey Billups was basically, he was involved with the poker game thing,
Yeah.
I guess. And then the Terry Rozier from the Heat was part of the sports issue. I guess the cases kind of like go together, but not really. So it's, I don't know. Like, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't understand all of the like nuances of who got charged with what, and why. But it all got lumped together, I guess.
So was it kind of like was it kind of done as like a RICO kind of thing?
Well, I'm sure it's RICO because of because the mob's involved.
Yeah.
But like imagine
Dude.
you're the coach of an NBA game, and so it says that Billups was implicated in a separate probe into illegal gambling on NBA games.
Oh,
So it might all be tied together.
I'm so pissed. Chauncey
I
Billups was awesome.
I
This just
can't
such a dumb thing.
I can't imagine why you would. It's got to be a thrill-seeking thing at a certain
It's
point.
got to be. Yeah.
Like you're getting paid pretty decent money. Chauncey Billups had just signed a contract extension with the Blazers for his head coaching job. Like, I can't imagine that you're gambling to get rich.
Right.
Like at that point. And I can't imagine you're running with the mafia to get rich at that point either.
Right.
So it's got to be like a thrill seeking, like adrenaline, like I'm a sociopath and I
love Italian food.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Man.
this isn't like the first, this isn't even the first time the NBA has had gambling related issues in the last decade.
Oh, really?
Like, well, the Tim Donaghy thing. I guess that was
Oh,
a
right.
little
I
more
was
than a
gonna say that's
decade ago, but
longer than a decade.
still, I mean, like the NBA, it seems like more than any other sport has had more gambling related allegations and stuff.
Yeah, interesting.
So is kind of interesting. Like, what is it about the NBA that gets these guys hooked on illegal gambling?
It's not enough adrenaline in the game.
I guess. I mean, maybe you guys gotta like throw some like maybe set the rim on fire or something, you know, like at a certain point in the game, like trap
It,
doors in the floor.
it
They
could
play
be
in
trapped.
a moat with alligators surrounds the court, you know, like if the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, you got to inbound from a slippery rock.
Yeah, something. I mean,
Alligators chomping at
spice
your
it up.
ankles.
Maybe you know what? Maybe they don't get enough concussions. You know, because the NFL doesn't seem to have this kind of an
Yeah,
issue. Those guys have brain damage beyond
right.
belief. You
Yep.
know, NHL doesn't seem to struggle with this. Again, you got a lot of concussions. You
Yep.
know, MLB probably just hides it better. I don't know. Baseball's one of those like I think because Major League Baseball is the oldest like professional sports organization in the country, they probably get a little more
Which one?
Major League Baseball.
Okay.
Professional baseball is the oldest
Yeah.
of the pro sports in the country.
Yeah.
Um you kind of wonder like if that plays a role into it, like they get caught less or they, you know, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, NBA, you guys are
I feel like it could be like maybe it's like a cultural thing. Like you were saying, there's been multiple things, and so it's just like there's people who it's like a social network, and so there's not a lot of crossover from like the NBA to the NHL or something like that, and so it's a like those contacts are already there, those connections are already made in that social network, and so the mob has infiltrated the NBA. Basically,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
know.
trying to say. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
It's
speaking of brain damage, there was another thing I saw this week that the NCAA was ordered to pay 18 million. This isn't part of people being stupid, but the NCAA was
well, it's the
ordered.
NCAA, so
Well, there you go. They had to pay $18 million to a former college football player, Robert Gethers, and his wife, because of like basically he has dementia from playing football, and obviously you can't specifically diagnose CTE until after somebody dies.
yeah.
But he's had all of the he's got dementia and all the other stuff that's linked to that. But what was kind of funny, I guess in a dark way, is that all of his he has like 3 sons and all of them played in the NFL. I'm like, dude, how are you going to get brain damage and then let your kids play the same thing that you got brain damage from?
Well,
I mean, maybe you didn't know, but
yeah, I mean, or maybe the brain damage, you know, he just wasn't cognitively aware of
yeah. And I mean,
what
obviously
was going
this is all
on.
kind of
You know?
more recent, common knowledge kind of thing, but I found that interesting.
Yeah.
And it was something about like in the lawsuit, there was basically the lawyers for this guy were alleging like the NCAA had evidence that that the sport could lead to like concussions from playing the sport could lead to brain damage as far back as like the 30s. Like they knew about this. I was like, what? I don't know about that, but okay.
I would need to see some like documentation on
Yeah,
medical diagnoses because I feel like in the 1930s people weren't getting concussions. Just like other things people weren't getting because we didn't have a diagnosis for it
Right.
at the time.
Yeah.
But now the numbers have skyrocketed exponentially, and it's like, well, yeah, because we know what it is now, so we're able to call it. We're able to call it what it is. Like
it's like people saying, "Oh, there's like, why is autism so prevalent now?"
Yeah,
it's always been there. Now we just have a name for it.
Yeah,
there's always been 8-year-olds who love trains and are obsessed
we
with
have
trains.
We have a name, and we have an idea of an understanding of what the symptoms of the condition are.
Right.
It's like there are certain things that are spiking out of nowhere because of negligence and mismanagement of our diabetes. Like diabetes is skyrocketing, not because of like we know what diabetes is now.
Right.
It's we've known what diabetes is, we've known how it's caused, but now it's like getting out of control because of our diets, because of the things that are being put in our food that we're none of us are growing our own food, none of us are reading labels on food, stuff like that. But there's a huge difference between like something that's preventable, such as concussions and diabetes. If it's not hereditary diabetes, it's preventable.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason that your morbidly obese ass can't, just put the Oreos down and take a walk. And prevent the beaties. For those of us who have genetic risk factors,
man.
There's still no excuse for not putting down the Oreos and taking your fat ass on a walk, and so
we just lost a whole demographic.
they were going to be lost anyway. I mean, it's what the lifespan, the morbidity rate on diabetes is.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sorry, man. I'm just, I'm spitting truth over here.
Woof. So we've covered personal finance, personal nutrition. Geez, getting into it.
Pissed off the mob.
Pissed off the mob.
Oof.
I think that's
well, we had a good 11 show run, guys.
Second this hits YouTube, it's gonna those mobsters are gonna get an AI notification on their Google phones, like, hey, a couple of gabagools are talking shit.
Couple of do good nothing, no gooders. Or
all right. Well, I guess after the break, we're talking about the hardest trophy to win in sports.
The hardest, not the hardest, like actual trophy, like the one that's most difficult to win.
Right.
I don't want people to get confused and think like we're talking about the what is
steel,
the steel or the the metal.
Yeah. Which element is the softest metal?
Yeah, we
could get into that.
Well, I mean, we could.
All right. Are we back?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to look up Stanley Cup material. Material of the Stanley
silver?
Cup. Stainless steel. Wait, what? Stanley. Oh my gosh.
Not a Stanley Cup.
Gosh dang it.
They should
not be able to be
Stanley Cup Connor McDavid has, the Stanley Cup that like Mark Stone and the Vegas Golden Knights have won previously.
So the original trophy, Sterling. I'm cutting you off. The original trophy, Sterling Silver Bowl. I don't know what sterling means. What is sterling?
It's sterling? I think it's like carats and gold. It's like determines the purity.
Okay.
Like how pure the silver is.
I searched sterling and it just says noun, British money. Okay. That's helpful. Yeah, thank you. The current top bowl of the trophy is made from a silver and nickel alloy. And then the engraved bands It doesn't say.
Hmm.
That's interesting. So that's silver. Is it the heaviest? It probably is the heaviest
I
because
would think
it's
at
34 pounds.
34 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember having this conversation with you and Alicia when Vegas won the cup, that it was 30 pounds, and I have a 30-pound kettlebell. And so Amy and I were trying to lift it up above our heads and see how long we could lift it.
Yeah.
And we had just been sitting on the couch for 3 hours watching the last game of that. Not playing.
Skate a few hundred laps and then do one more lap with 30-pound bet. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you find the strength at that point when you've just won the cup.
Yeah, it's probably adrenaline.
Yeah. See, there you go. You wouldn't have to do illegal gambling if you just won the Stanley Cup. You'd have enough adrenaline.
Yeah, but only 20 guys get to do that every year, so
it's true. Hardest trophy to win.
Yeah.
The
most difficult. What is it? I have one that I think, in my opinion, I think might be the hardest one to win.
Okay.
And we're talking not just professional sports, but like all, so all competitions. I think the World Cup, particularly in soccer, but in any sport, like because hockey has the World Cup now, you know, a lot of sports have a World Cup or a world competition of some kind.
Yeah.
I say that that's probably the hardest one, because not only are you only playing the competition once every 4 years, you're getting a bunch of players from all over your country who are at various points in their professional careers, and who may or may not get along with each other, like personally.
Yeah.
But have to like put aside those interpersonal differences to do something for their country. And then like the timing of, especially for soccer, like the global football calendar basically starts in August and runs through May, and then the World Cup is usually like July through August.
Right.
So like to come off of your season basically going straight into training for the World Cup,
right,
into playing the World Cup, and then going right back to your regular professional career. Like I think the psychological aspect of that has to be difficult, but the physical aspect too.
Oh, for sure. Not to mention, like, you're talking about how many countries. I mean, it's a much bigger, like, quote unquote league than any of the professional leagues. Like, you're talking about 60 countries at least trying to do this, right? Like, I would think. How many?
Yeah, I think how many teams are in it this year? 64, I think.
How many countries in the world?
In the World 32. Cup. Sorry, there's 32 countries in the World Cup.
Okay.
Which is
scheduled to expand to 48 teams with the 2026 World Cup.
Yeah, it's going to expand to 48. That's right. Which is a lot of countries.
But you're also qualifying into that number. So it's not even like, it's not just that number. You're also playing qualifiers beforehand to get in to that 32,
the 48 team,
whatever. And then, the upcoming. Okay. So 48 countries, and US, Canada, Mexico are automatically in because they're hosting. So then another 45 spots. So you're talking about a bunch of countries trying to get into those 45. And then you've got almost 50 teams and like you said, all set up, have not really played together, that much, whatever. Probably have like different competitions and stuff, but and then trying to get through to be the one at the end. That's a
Yeah.
lot. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and like you just said, to play together, like they only do the international break, once a month or whatever. So how much time do you have to train, play, gel with learn a system, play with your team, and they're playing their professional career like while they're trying to qualify.
Right. This is their side job.
This is their side hustle is literally playing for glory for their country.
Crazy.
You have to, I think you have to put it as one of the toughest just because of the format.
Right.
If we're looking at all sports in general or all trophies in general, I think World Cup's probably one of the most difficult. If we're looking at trophies that are competed for every year, that's a different story.
So I was just thinking about like the just total number of competitors in a given championship or trophy awarded contest or whatever. And you have on here Wimbledon, and the French and Australian US
all
Open.
the tennis majors,
the Grand Slam, So there's 128 players. I just Googled Wimbledon. 128 players, both men's and women's singles tournaments. So you've got to get through. I mean, you don't personally have to play all those, obviously.
No.
But there's a bracket where that's a pretty big bracket. Like that's several rounds of having to get through. And again, you got to qualify into that. Like, so that's a lot of competition. That's a lot of intense competition.
And the top, the top players they had, because they get buys for certain seeds. So like if you're a number 1 seed in Wimbledon, you're not playing in the first round. Like people are playing to play you basically.
Okay.
And in most of those tournaments like that, you're getting a bye for at least the first round. I think some of them you might get a bye for the first 2 rounds. But also they're playing like every other day basically in tennis.
Right.
And tennis is a physically demanding sport.
And one aspect of it too is that like all of these other things you're talking about are team sports. So if you're having a bad game or a bad week or whatever,
if you're throwing kind of 3 interception and fumbling twice,
you've got other people to pick up and only lose by a touchdown.
Up and only lose by a touchdown. Yeah.
So I mean, there's something to be said about like you're doing this on your own. You're the only person on your team on the court. You are battling through adversity. Like if you get down, you've got to battle, but you have to have the mental tough. You don't have anybody else to rely on. Like you've got your coach in the stands or whatever, but they're not really talking.
Their coaches aren't even allowed to talk to you. I don't think. Like they
kind of talk. They kind of.
I mean, they can make
like that,
I'm sure they do, but I mean, like your coach can't come down there and like give you a pep talk or like give you the scouting report on how to come back on this guy or where they're where to serve to because so that's
even
good
true
point.
too.
That's a good point too.
Yeah.
You're
even in it on your own with strategy and everything. Yeah.
I think the mental aspect of individual sports makes them very tough. Because you have to be good at the sport, but like you're saying, you also have to be mentally like think about golf, like if
I was just thinking about that. Yeah.
You're in the Masters and you shank one off the tee, like that can't derail your whole round.
Yeah.
You have to be able to like, okay, so I had a bad shot there. I got to figure out how to get on the green. I got to figure out how to get, no more than bogey on this hole and
Yeah.
move forward and work
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, also why sports are kind of a good lesson for life. Like, just because one thing goes wrong doesn't mean the whole rest of our day has to be,
Is that a free Mr. M's life
that's a
lesson
free
thrown in
Mr.
there?
M life lesson thrown in there, because I've had a lot of that happening lately where it's
Yeah.
like one thing goes wrong, or you get told no, or
Yeah.
we started a new classroom management system where they get fines if they do things. It's
Just
actually
getting them
worked.
prepared for the real world.
It's actually worked really well for some of my boys because they're like, they don't want to have fines. And so
Do you have a whole
this,
do you have a whole economy where like you're the Federal Reserve and you like dish money out,
so
and
they
have money and then pay taxes and pay fines and stuff?
Well, I don't have expenses set up, but they do have they have jobs and they get paid for their jobs.
Dude, no way.
Yes, and then they get bonuses for good behaviors. And then they get fines for bad behaviors. And then they have to do the math to reconcile their account. So when I post a transaction to them, before they can deposit the money into their checking account, they have to add up and see like what their new balance will be.
This is blowing my mind. This is incredible.
They can have savings accounts. And then we have a class store, so they can buy like prizes from the prize box. I've got on there that if they save up, if they spend 150 coins, they can play one-on-one versus me on the playground. I think I've got 2 or 3 girls right now saving up for the $500 you get to pie Mr. M in the face.
No way.
Yes.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's a whole classroom economy. It's really cool. But like the fine thing, like I have some kids that like, I have a couple that just, I don't know what's going to work because they don't care. Like,
yeah,
they're they're negative balances and they don't, seem to care. But I have a couple of kids who like, they're like, I don't want to get any fines today. Like that's their goal every day. So they don't want to get fines. But then some of those who are in that camp, like if they do get a fine for something, they let that derail them. And then that spirals like their whole day, and I'm trying to get them to realize like, dude, just because you got a fine for not being on task at 9:30 in the morning doesn't mean you have to let that ruin your entire day.
Right.
Because what's going to happen is those fines are going to start compounding on one another.
Right.
And it's like the opposite.
Got to work toward a bonus at that point.
It's like the opposite of compound interest at that point.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and they can work toward bonuses. And like, that's the thing is like, they can earn, like I've got it set up to have where the bonuses should offset the fines.
Okay.
So it's not like, like I'm not.
So it's not the American economy.
No. But it's
a little more forgiving than that.
So like being on task gets you 2 coins and being off task only finds you 1 coin.
Okay.
So it's like if you're off task, but then you can get back on task, then you can offset your fine, whatever.
Sure.
I don't know how many of them have figured that out yet.
Yeah.
But
wow.
Yeah, so don't let one bad moment derail your entire day, your entire round, like, I mean, we're all going to hit a bad shot. Like I had one of my kids the other day, I said, dude, it's like, this is why baseball is my favorite sport, is because like you can go 0 for 4 one day and hit a game-winning home run the next day and everybody, you're the hero. Like,
or even the same game. You
can go 0 for 3 and hit a home run in the game, or hit the game-winning single, that scores a guy or whatever. It's like, baseball baseball is great because it's like every at bat is a new opportunity
Fresh.
for you
Yeah.
to prove yourself.
So true.
Yeah, which, you know, the World Series is a hard trophy to win, I think. Given the duration of the season, given the roster limitations, you know, because you're only allowed to carry so many pitchers and so many hitters, fielders.
And you talk about you're kind of flipping it from the other, like from the World Cup and, you know, tennis and stuff like that, where there's so much competition. You're kind of flipping that logic to now saying in Major League Baseball, you've got 30 teams. It's 30, right?
Yeah.
You've got 30 teams. But only, what is it? You've got 5 from each, or 6 from each league get in to the playoffs. And and then you don't have many chances. Like, you have this massively long season, 162 games. Only 6 from each league get in. So only 12 of the 30 teams get in.
Yeah.
And the ones who just barely get in only get, you know, 3 games. Like, you can only lose best of 3. So you can only lose 1 game in that first round.
Yeah.
And then the second round, you don't have much opportunity either because it's best of 5. So you can only lose 2 games.
Yeah.
And then now you're down to the final 4. And so you've got only 2 rounds left, whatever. So you really do have limited opportunities to get your shit together and you know, pull through whatever. But
and because baseball is such a streaky like sport, that's basically like law of average kind of sport, where it's like you're going to have a certain number of very positive outcomes, you're going to have a certain number of negative outcomes, and you're just hoping that somewhere in the middle is where you wind up most of the time.
Yeah. I gotta pull a statistics correction on you. It's not the law of averages; it's the law of large numbers.
Well, law of large numbers, but
so just throwing that out there.
Anyway,
regression to the mean is what you're looking for.
Regression to the mean. You're right. Sorry for the semantic old people out there. You know, I mean, if you get into a slump in mid-May, you've got 100, 120 more games to get out of it.
Yeah.
You get into a slump in late September.
Yeah. Whoops. Looking at you, Detroit Tigers.
You're running out of opportunities to correct that slump. And then if you get into a slump in October, you're screwed. Like, Andy Paez from the Dodgers, I mean, he went like 0 for the playoffs this year.
0 for the playoffs.
I mean, I think he was 0.85 or something like that. The only reason that they kept him in, that Dave Roberts kept him in the lineup, was because he's the best center fielder we had. And so we needed his glove. But I mean, you're looking at a guy who also hit 20 some home runs in the regular season. Like he had a good regular season.
Yeah.
He just found a horrible time to get in a slump, and it could have cost the team because, you know, when you're not getting on base or you're not batting runners in, you know, now all of a sudden your bat's worthless, basically. I mean, I don't want to say, you know, worthless, but it's pretty bad.
Not contributing in the way you should.
You're not contributing, you know. But he wasn't the only one. And like, that's the other weird thing to me about baseball is like certain guys get a longer leash than other guys. Like, so, because Teoscar Hernandez was also atrociously bad. But because he has the ability to hit the long ball, you know, he's allowed to get a little more
You're keeping him in on the off chance he comes out of the slump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're giving him more at bats to hopefully he
Yeah.
gets out of it. Like Mookie
Yeah.
Betts wasn't doing so hot. Shohei for a period wasn't doing so hot. Like he had
Yeah.
that amazing game 4 in the NLC or in the in the NLCS, and then the World Series he started out not looking so good.
Right.
Like it's you're just hoping certain guys. You're like, okay, well he's an elite, he's a superstar. And then other guys you're like, yeah, dude, this is if you can't get it together this game, like you're not playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
And those guys have been playing all season. So
Yeah.
I mean, and you can see how pitching is definitely like the biggest struggle in the World Series because you're pitching on shorter rest. It seems like everybody shrinks their starting rotation from a starting 4 or 5 to a starting 3.
Yeah.
So you're going from pitching on 4 or 5 days rest to pitching on 3 days rest if you're lucky.
Yeah.
What Yamamoto did was friggin' incredible. Went out and threw a complete game in game 2. Was somehow warming up and ready, like if need be, in game 3, the one that went to 18 innings. So he was like, yeah, I'll go in if I need to. Like,
Crazy.
dude, you just threw a complete game last night. Like, what the hell? And then he goes out and throws 6, which was his shortest start of the postseason. In game 6, and then game 7 comes out and throws a couple in relief. Like it's unheard of.
Yeah. Wild.
Then you got the Stanley Cup. I think the physical toll of hockey, probably makes that one the most difficult. The constant like grind of that season too, because you're constantly traveling. You're playing on different surfaces in different cities that may or may not be maintained to,
That's true.
Like we've all seen how the ice sucks in certain cities at certain points in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think kind of again like flipping logic on different sports, like just talking about the World Series or winning the World Series, and you've got limited opportunities to win. In hockey, there's no bye. You have to play every round. Every round is best of 7, so you have to at least play 16 games minimum over the course of, whatever it is. And so more than likely you're playing actually like closer to 25 games, I'd say probably. And so you're playing another quarter of a season.
Yeah.
Like you're adding a 5th quarter of your regular season onto 82 games of, brutal.
Yeah.
And one of the things I was thinking about when you put this on here was not just from like a team, like an athlete perspective, but the hardest trophy to win as an organization. So like all of the things that have to go right, all of the things that you have to do, the pieces that you have to put in place, like to win a Stanley Cup, you have to have depth. You have to have depth scoring. You have to have depth checking. You have to have goaltending, reliable goaltending, and backup goaltending. You cannot win the Stanley Cup without a reliable backup goalie.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we've seen that over the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Like if you're relying on one guy in net, you're not going to be very competitive, very successful, because there's always that fluke injury too. Like I think Like, I think that's the thing with all sports is like, especially once you get into a playoff bracket, like the injury risk
Mm-hmm.
is probably not heightened, but the catastrophic damage that it does to your team when you get
Yes.
injured at that point in the season,
Right.
like even if it's just a sprain, you know,
Yeah.
how many teams have we seen, a guy in all sports, a guy gets a sprained elbow or a sprained knee or a hamstring strain, something that like, okay, it's not a massive injury, but you don't have recovery time once you're in this playoff.
Yes.
Like once that bracket starts, there's no more, we can just
Right.
sit him down for 2 or 3 weeks and he can
Yeah.
recover. It's like,
Right.
okay,
You're gonna have to play through
you
this.
either have to play through this or like we have to cut you from the postseason roster and bring in somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, and no guy is gonna be like, yeah, sure, I'll,
Got Matthew Kachuk out there playing the broken sternum, like can't tie his own shoes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you have to kind of work within salary cap in hockey. The one thing I was thinking about too with from that perspective of like an organization is college sports. So think about like especially NCAA basketball. Because the and I say basketball specifically because I think there is like a ranking system, of course. That's not, as objective as every other sport, whatever. Similar to like NCAA football, there's a ranking. Like you just kind of have to
but
have
that
some
one
kind
is
of ranking.
but that one is very subjective in football. Though
Very subjective.
the NCAA basketball one is a lot more objective.
It's a lot more objective. Yeah.
The seeding as far as like where you end up in the tournament is kind of a mix of both. But yeah, you're right. Like basketball, NCAA basketball makes more sense as a comparison to anything else than the football because it's just they've already got their champion in mind, and it's trying to figure out how to make sure that team gets through the last
Ohio State.
game. Yeah.
And again, no bye. So the best teams don't get a bye. They have to play in the first round. They have to make it through all the way. But two, you look at it from an organizational perspective and you think about, so in football, there's a required time from the end of a player's high school to when they can go pro, when they can play in the NFL. In the NBA, you can come, what is it? Is it a year or you can just come straight out of high school?
No, it's a 1 year thing.
There's a 1 year.
Yeah.
So you're talking about managing as an athletic director and as a head coach, you're talking about managing recruitment in addition to putting a team on the court that can win in a specific year where you're playing. I think they play like 30 or 40 games, something like that in the regular season.
30. I think it's like 30-ish.
So
plus they have to play their conference tournament.
The conference tournament, get through that.
And then, and then the NCAA tournament. So,
then you're looking at maybe next year we got to build a whole new team because if you win or you get close to when you get to the Final Four, all your team is going pro. Like they're all going to the draft. Why would they not? They just had the best, they've got like, why would you risk that? Yeah. And so now you got to go back out to every high school in your region and go, hey son, how'd you like to play? So
that's true. I mean, I didn't think about college sports. Like that's an interesting point to bring up. I also put on here like a top tier soccer league championship. And that's more from the perspective of like, because the top tier leagues don't have a playoff. Like it's whoever the best team is, whoever scores the most points all season, as far as like you get 3 points for your win, 1 point for your draw, and 0 for a loss. whoever has the most points at the end of the season wins the championship. The margin for error there is much smaller.
Right.
The opportunity to course correct is a lot tighter.
Basically, the whole season's a playoff.
Basically the whole season is a playoff. You're playing every team twice and then trying to pick up as many points as you can and prevent them from getting, hopefully they don't get as many points.
Right.
And you only have control over what your team does.
Right.
So, and there have been quite a few over the past few years, especially in the Premier League, where like the Man City has like run away with it. I mean, they're basically up by 20 points by the end of April. They don't even have to play any matches in May basically, and they've got it. And if you're like the second place team, you have no control over that. Like there is nothing you can do to overcome that deficit. Like you can keep winning all of your games, but if they keep winning all of theirs, that margin just stays the same. But then there have also been, recently where I think it was last season, Liverpool won by, it did come down to like the final 3 games where it was still competitive with Arsenal. So it's like Arsenal had to do what they could to win matches, and then fingers crossed Liverpool loses so that they can actually cut that deficit, because you winning and them winning on the same week isn't doing any good.
Right.
Them winning and you losing is putting you 3 more points behind. So, I think that one's, I think the top tier soccer championship ones are probably tougher to win on a team sport level, because of not having a playoff.
Yeah.
And then also, like you tie that into the international, like we're talking about with the World Cup. So like these guys, their side hustle is playing for their country. Yeah. So, imagine like, your top 4 on the table in the Bundesliga, and one of your guys gets injured while he's out on international duty. And now you've lost him. So now your top goal scorer may be down, for a period of time. You've got to figure out a way to not lose places and possibly, hopefully gain places.
Right.
And there's no, the MLS is in their playoff right now. I think, I know I know they started it recently because the Crew are in it, and people are like, oh yeah, the Crew, like it's stupid. We've already talked about that a little bit previously, but yeah.
Feel free to continue sounding off.
Maybe one day MLS will listen, but yeah. I mean, every championship is going to be difficult and present its own difficulties.
For sure.
I don't know that you could say there's one hardest one to win. I guess if I had to pick the hardest one that I think is the hardest one, I would stick with the World Cup.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Any of those like international competitions that are every 4 years, I feel like those kind of competitions have to be the hardest.
That makes sense.
Because of the format of it, because of the time, like investment in qualifying for it.
Yeah. The rarity of it.
And because of you're basically trying to pick an all-star team of players from your country to get together and play, and hope that they can put their egos aside and work together to win.
Yeah. I think I'd go with Stanley Cup. That's just me being biased.
Yeah.
But I think it just is like, it's one of those things where there are teams that can be in their like championship window, quote unquote, for 10 years and not win it. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you can completely sell out, go all in on winning the cup and not do it. Like you and you know, some team just gets hot, or you get an injury, you get a, you know, slew of injuries, or you know, you have a tough series or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just so it's so hard to win. So unless your team is located in a state with no income tax.
No income tax and long-term injury reserve. Oh wait, it's
Yeah. Well, is it time for our 2-minute warning?
I believe so.
All right. So, well, I guess we got to tell everybody listening to comment in the chat what your
What do you guys
your take is for the hardest trophy,
hardest trophy to win?
the most difficult to win, not the
Most
hardest.
difficult.
Trophy.
Yeah, not the hardest. Yeah.
It is funny. Like I heard some story about the Stanley Cup, just breaking in half. I forget who it was, but somebody dropped it. I think it was this summer too. Somebody just like dropped it and it just broke in half. And like the, you know, curator from the Hall of Fame that has to go with it has to like come and patch it back together and whatever.
So you have to fill out like an incident report or something.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm sure that goes
I feel
in
like
some log.
there's got to be paperwork, you know.
Yeah,
like
it's got to be in some log in the Hall of Fame, which is awesome.
Well, I mean, they did lose it temporarily at one point during a celebration. I think the Montreal, was it the Maroons or the Canadians?
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the Montreal
yeah.
teams won it, and then like
Yeah.
during the celebration, they got so drunk that like they tossed it
into the snow,
and
Yeah.
it ended
How
up
Canadian.
getting lost in like a canal for a period.
Hilarious. Imagine like canoeing down some canal and you're like, what is
what's
this sterling silver bowl?
Who left this punch bowl just chilling out here, man?
Thankfully, it says Lord Preston of Stanley.
Take it to a pawn
Well, I guess
shop.
I know where to. Yeah.
Take it to a pawn shop. Or like, best I can do is $5.
Let me call a buddy of mine. He knows about gold. He knows about
get this guy
bolts.
he can come down and authenticate it for me. But you know, there's not really much of a market for these kind of things.
Yeah. Oh man.
I wonder if that show's still on.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be still on. They milk those shows for every last. Yeah. All right. Well, you put on here for locker room
I
talk.
did. Elections matter.
Yeah.
Elections.
This won't be posted until after tomorrow.
Yeah,
after election day. But
still, I mean, it's important to vote in your local elections. This year, like here in Columbus, we have 3 city council members and 3 school board members up.
Okay.
Like people may not think that's a big deal, but you know, that's for our school board of 7. That's, you know, a significant chunk of the school board. For a city council of 7, that's a significant chunk. Like
there's only 7 city council members in Columbus.
We have a weird system.
That's wildly small. Nashville has like 50.
Well, in Columbus, we are just now switching to a ward system, but they're still going to be elected at large. So like they will represent our ward, but they will be voted on by the entire city because apparently they don't understand how the ward system works.
Okay. I'm going to correct myself. Nashville has 40. Chicago has 50.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We have 9. My bad.
Okay. That's still really small.
It's still wildly small for a city of about 1 million people.
Yeah. Yeah. 9 people representing
9. Yeah. 9 people representing our interest.
1 to every 100,000. That's like Congress. That's crazy.
Yeah. And they work about as well as Congress. So, but I mean, your local elections are determining like your local future, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and if you think about it, like, yes, what happens in the state and the national scene politically affects us, but ultimately you're living in your city every day.
Yeah.
And you really feel the effects of the local government level every day.
And that's
When
who
you,
administers the money that is granted from the
exactly. So
federal and state
when
government.
you're going down that street and you hit a pothole, you can't blame the federal officials or the state officials. You have to look at your local officials who have not appropriated the funds,
Right.
or have given away so much tax abatement to billionaires and millionaires
Gotta have
that
TIFs.
they can't afford the pothole repairs.
Gotta get that TIF money.
So try to do your research before you go out and vote. Bonds, levies, those kinds of things are always on the local elections. Those always determine who gets what funding, how they get that funding.
Yeah.
Whether or not your property taxes are going to increase, or whether or not your sales taxes are going to increase. So, I think the local elections usually have the smallest turnout, but they have the largest impact as far as like your actual everyday life.
For sure.
So
yeah,
don't skip your local elections.
I will not. I'm going to vote tomorrow. I've got mayor and city council to vote for in my small town here.
Wait till next year to get rid of ours.
In my small suburb of 13,000 people or whatever it is. There are 3 city council seats open and 1 mayor seat open, of course.
Mm-hmm.
There's 1 person running for mayor. She's the incumbent. And there are 4 candidates for city council. And I think 3 of them are incumbent. So pretty funny. So that'll be interesting.
That's also that's the other like extension of it is, think about getting involved in or running for, because there are a lot of, especially in these smaller local elections, off-year elections, there tends to be a lot of unopposed seats.
Yeah.
That somebody got because they were the only person willing to run in some
Go
cases.
And get signatures on their.
I mean, they stood out in the Kroger parking lot and got petition signatures. They got everybody in their, local religious facility or whatever,
local religious facility,
athletic club, whatever it is,
Yeah.
They got them to sign the petition. They got on the ballot.
Speaking of that, we went to this event. They opened a park on the riverfront in Detroit, and this guy came up to me, and he has like 5 different clipboards, and he said, "Hey man, you registered in Wayne County?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Help me out. I get $4 per signature." I said, "Who is this guy?" And I'm pretty sure it's a Republican senator candidate for Senate. And he said, "I said, who is this guy?" He said, "Man, you don't have to fucking know who this guy is. He's paying me $4 per signature. It's not a vote. It's just for him getting on the ballot. Just sign the thing." And I was like, you know what? I've been out here trying to hustle, get petitions signed and stuff, and doing it for free, not getting paid. I was like, I'll sign your paper. That's fine.
Getting paid $4 a signature. That's some George Soros level shit right there.
I know. Man. Yeah, that was.
Wow. I'm still waiting on my No Kings rally check, but okay, you do you, man. Go get you some.
I had my city council person in Chicago was notorious for paying petitioners to get signatures. And so we would always you could go and challenge. I don't know if this is everywhere, but in Chicago, when you turned in your massive petition books or whatever, you could go and challenge. And so you'd have to be also prepared to be challenged. And so, of course, he would do that too to any other opposition. Yeah. And so you had to go through, make sure you crossed names out if you couldn't read their, address or their name or, whatever. So you always had to make sure you got like 2.5 times the signatures you actually need just to be sure you aren't going to face a challenge or whatever. But well, speaking of putting names on paper, Mr. M's life lesson.
Put your name on your paper, kids. So this past week I was grading some tests. Well, quizzes. I call them quizzes because
Okay.
they're allowed to use their resources. If
Ooh.
it's a test, they're not allowed to use resources.
Okay.
Okay, so in my opinion, life is like a quiz. Like you're always going to have resources around you. You know, very few test moments in life.
Yeah.
You know, I try to do basically like tests are kind of like like the whole unit, whereas quizzes are like we just did the lesson or the week's worth of, you know, work on it, whatever. So kid turns in a quiz. I'm grading quizzes, and this student did very well. Like I think 80%. No name on their paper. Like who do I give this 80% to?
Whoops.
Fortunately for that student, they were the only one who forgot to put their name on their paper and who I knew was in attendance that day.
Okay.
So I was able to award them credit for it.
Yeah.
But I told the whole class in no uncertain terms today, I said, next time that happens, it's just going straight in the bin. Like I'm not grading papers with no name on them.
All right.
Like, just so if you don't want your grade to suffer, and like it's literally the first thing at the top of the page, name.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be that kid who has to tell your mom, like, yeah, I failed my math. I failed my math test because I didn't put my name on it.
Yeah.
Failed my math quiz because I forgot to put my name on it. Like, I don't know about your mom, but my mom would be like, well, you deserve that F. And then she'd make me write my name 37 times on a piece of paper.
Oh man. Oh yes. The rule of 37.
The rule
oh,
of
yes.
37. That psychologist that told my mom that. Oh man.
Man, I had to I forgot to take the recycle bin out one time. That was one of my chores when I was a kid.
Oh, I remember watching you do that.
You came home from school while I was at like number 23 or something like that. I had to take the recycle bin out to the curb, bring it right back in, and repeat 37 times. Guess who never forgot to take the recycle bin out?
That's right. You know what? Maybe I should bring that into my classroom. 37, the rule of 37. And just
I watched a whole video.
Have a principal come in and see a kid doing something repeatedly. Like, what are they doing?
What is
they didn't do it right the first time. They got to do it 37 times, man.
They're learning a lesson.
Learning a life lesson.
Oh man. I actually watched this video on YouTube from one of the math things that I subscribe to, and they had this premise of the most random, the random numbers are not random, and they went and asked like hundreds of people, name a random number, and the most named number was 37, and I was cracking up through this whole thing thinking of our growing up, but it goes into doing prime numbers and all this stuff, and the way people think about conceptualized numbers. They were saying name the most random number between 1 and 100, and so it kind of had this weird graph. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Well, yeah, put your name on your paper. That's a good idea. Let's see. What's in my Wikipedia?
It's in your Wikipedia history.
I popped some stuff in here, specifically said I would remember to talk about it. Oh, there's Chauncey Billups in there. Let's see. Let's go back to where we were before. Oh, Chauncey Billups. That's where we would start. Okay. Well, Chauncey Billups. I don't remember reading about that, but I did read about the East Wing. That was in one of the top read articles on the day that it was demolished, because it was demolished from the White House. So I read about, East Wing, and it's kind of the more of the social entrance, the social wing. It's where the First Lady's office was, all that sort of stuff. So
Which
I don't necessarily care one way or the other on like, demolishing a piece of history or whatever. Like, I don't really care about that. My big issue with all of that is like, you kind of just did it, one, during a government shutdown, and two, without like the proper approvals and process of all this kind of stuff. And you're just wasting money. This is a big, massive waste of money.
Well, it's all being funded privately by bribes. I mean, by people who want to show their love and affection for dear leader. I mean, I don't know where I was going with that.
It's patriotism.
Yeah, it's patriotism, something. Well, so to tie into the sports thing, so yeah, it's the social like hub. Where the hell is he gonna host the sports teams? Because that thing ain't getting done anytime soon. I mean, he tore it to the fucking ground. Like in the new concrete garden.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the Rebel Garden?
Did you see?
And here we go live to
SNL,
President Trump in the Rebel Garden.
Did you see the SNL sketch they did on it?
Oh.
They did a Property Brothers spoof on it. It's hilarious. You'll have to look it up. It's great. It's got your dude who plays Trump in there, right? You said you know that guy?
Yeah, I went to college with him.
Yeah.
James Austin Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Funny enough, I had a friend.
We love James. We love him.
Yeah, we love him.
He's
one of the greatest of all time. Fabulous. Not so. Not as good as me. Not as good as I could have done it. I had a friend in college that was in his year because he was a year behind me, I think. And so I was never like friends with him or anything. Like, obviously, with small school, I knew who he was. I don't even know if he knew who I was, whatever. But he was making a short film we had Tribeca Film Festival or something like that. So they were making it was like a pretty short window. You had to make a film. And he and his group of friends were putting together a film. And one of my friends was in it. And we actually went to this pretty upscale part of Nashville called the Gulch. And somebody that they knew had an apartment in this building, like super nice studio apartment, like nice skyline view and everything. And I don't know I have no idea what the short film was even about, but I was just along for the ride this whole time. I wasn't helping or doing anything. It was just like one of those things. You're in college, you just kind of shoot the shit and go along with whatever. For whatever reason, they brought a real gun. And one of the scenes was in a parking garage of this very fancy building. And of course, this is like run and gun filmmaking. They did not have permits or anything. And so we're kind of I'm like, dude, we're about to get like the cops called on us, like SWAT team out here. My friend had to be like taken to the ground, and the gun, like somebody straddles like above him, and the gun's like pointed at his face, whatever. And so he asked like so they kind of they do the blocking and stuff.
With a real firearm.
With a real firearm. Obviously, no armorist or anything like that. We're asking and I'm asking too. He's asking a bunch, and I'm like, can we see the chamber one more time? Can we just like triple check? Can you just like fire it off one time? Just like be sure like nothing's in there. So he's like, they're like, there's not even a clip in there. There's like nothing in the chamber. Like, this thing is empty. It's totally safe. It's fine. Whatever. We're not using like blanks or anything like that. And so, but we just that was like one of the funniest things ever, because we're in this parking garage. There are people coming in and out of the building and just kind of like side-eyeing like what's going on. If not for like having a, big, they had like one of those 4K red cameras or something that was like pretty new at the time. But it's just so funny. I don't know if they won the competition or not, but that's my one. That's my one. Being involved with
that's got to be a small evangelical Christian college thing, because I had my fair share of experiences with guns and filmmaking and no
Oh yeah,
permits and all that when I was
there's
in
there's a
college.
gun. A gun goes off in your feature film Red Moon.
Yes, several
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
We used blanks.
You did. Okay.
Yes, we used blanks. Had to call the police to make sure that like we're going to be shooting a gun in this area. Not a gun, but we're shooting blanks in
Right.
this area.
That will make the sound of a gun.
That will make the sound of a gun. So just in case, anybody, whatever. But also back in my sophomore year, we made a short film and it was called Charity. And it was centered around two girls who befriended each other during Nazi Germany, during the Nazi era. And one of the scenes we were shooting was we had three Nazi guards in a park eating a lunch, and one of the little girls sneaks up and steals their bread and to take it to the other girl, and they chase her through the park with their rifles. And
you got it fully permitted, right?
oh yeah, fully permitted. Fully. So
Look at Nazis running through the park chasing a girl.
Nazis running through the park chasing two little girls.
Just another Thursday in Marion, Indiana,
with guns. Yeah, and then so we had tried to get Marion, Indiana is not a hotbed of filmmaking activity, so they didn't really have an official permit process anyway. So we had tried
the Marion Film Commission.
We tried to do our best to, let people know like, hey, we're going to be doing this, we're shooting the scene. What we didn't take into account was the fact that Marion, Indiana has a history of racial violence, and the sheriff was black. And so when some other black people were going through the park and they saw Nazis chasing Nazis with guns, they called the sheriff themselves because they, knew the sheriff. And he came out and he was the one to address the issue with us. And he was not too happy. And we were trying to be like chill and be like, dude, calm down. Like we're college kids. We didn't know like, this wasn't allowed, basically like we didn't know you couldn't have Nazi costumes in a park. And, I mean, now you can probably get away with it. Like today, the political climate, we could probably, shit, like we probably would have attracted more Nazis to join the scene.
Yeah. They'd be like, oh, hey, we're rallying in the park.
They'd have started goose stepping and everything. Anyway, sorry, I got your Wikipedia history derailed.
No, that's great.
I guess we got a bonus situation now.
Yeah. Stories of college. So one of the things I looked up is cam loops, because I have never heard of.
Kamloops, BC.
How do you know about this place?
Columbia.
How do you know about this?
I've heard of it.
I had never heard about it until this year. And then all of a sudden, one of the Red Wings rookies he's like a 7th round draft pick, made the team out of training camp, played juniors in Kamloops. But then I've heard the name Kamloops like 10 different like situations, hearing about different players from there or people from there, whatever. And so I was like, where the hell is Kamloops? What is this? And I just think Kamloops is just so funny. It just sounds like the name of a breakfast cereal. Like it's just eat your Kamloops. Gotta have my Kamloops. But it's actually a pretty decent sized city. Like it's 100,000 people or something like that. So, and it is the tournament capital of Canada, because it hosts more than 100 sporting tournaments each year at facilities such as the Tournament Capital Center, Sandman Center, and Tournament Capital Ranch. I don't know, man. And it's also a big mountain biking destination. So it's home to Canada's largest municipal bike park, the 26-hectare Kamloops Bike Ranch. So pretty interesting stuff about Kamloops.
They host a lot of tournaments.
Tournament.
I
need to watch some Strong Bad.
I know. They need to bring Strong Bad back, man.
They do. Yeah. And then I got into last night. I was reading about Max Scherzer, like I said, the one that got away. Hall of Fame, future Hall of Famer, pitcher, one of the best of all time. Played for the Tigers for a little bit there, and yeah, well, didn't anymore. And then I was reading about no hitter because he's pitched 2 no hitters, I think, in his career. And then I was reading about fielder's choice because I've heard that term and stuff, and I kind of know what it is like in play, but I didn't know that it's a specific like stat that has implications for like no hitters and perfect games and stuff like that. So kind of interesting.
And batting average.
Then I was reading about a perfect game, what that is. And then I found uncaught third strike. That's an interesting one. An uncaught third strike. So I got deep into baseball last night when I was on Wikipedia, but and then to wrap it all up, hard left turn, Ross Perot. I don't know why. I think he was like in one of the most read or something like that, or featured article or something. And I don't know where I saw Ross Perot, but I was like, Ross Perot, I got to read about this guy. So I started to. I don't know.
I lived that.
Yeah. So that's my Wikipedia history. Yeah. From Kamloops, from Chauncey Billups to Kamloops to
third strike.
Yeah. To Ross Perot. Yeah. Well, I guess that's an episode.
Yeah, sounds good.
Join us in 3 weeks from now when we get around to our 12th episode.
Whenever, you know.
We're on a hard schedule here.
Yeah.
It forces you to like choose like what your schedule is on our podcasting, like, you know, host or whatever. Yeah. And so I chose weekly because we have it scheduled weekly, but hope it doesn't like, you know, kick us down on the algorithm because probably limits the algorithm because it's like these guys aren't consistent. They're not posting every week on the same day at the same time. I do try to make it for like, what is it? Thursdays at 2. I think I drop them.
Oh yeah.
I'm scheduled to drop or whatever, but
that's cool.
Might change it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck with doling out the fines and
I got professional development tomorrow. So I'm gonna hear the same thing I've been hearing at every professional development for the last 4 years.
Which is what?
This math try, discuss, connect framework.
Try, discuss, connect.
Like, how do we do it? We let the kids try it first, then we discuss how they got their answers, and then we have them connect it to a new problem. Cool. And then they talk about the 3 reads. Like, I'm sorry, but not everything has to be a 3-read math problem. Okay. Sometimes you're just going to read it once and you're going to know what to do and you're going to do it. Like if it says 25 plus 32, you're going to know what to do. Like you don't need to read that shit 3 times. Yeah. But everything in their curriculum is a fucking story problem. So it's like you're not preparing them for success in the real world.
Yeah. Because
you're laying it out as a story problem with numbers, as opposed to laying it out as a problem to be solved.
Yeah.
Because the real world is more problem solving. And when you do use numbers, you're explicitly using numbers. Like my bank account balance isn't, you know, on Monday, Tim had, you know, X dollars in his account and he owed $300 to this, you know, and that and the other, whatever, you know, it's like, just no, this is your balance. These are your bills. You pay them. This is what's left over. Like, ain't no story problem involved in that.
Well, enjoy it.
Yep.
Find a way to enjoy it, I guess.
And yeah, make sure you vote. Find a way to vote.
Yes. Yes.
All right, dude.
All right. Love you.
Yep.
Bye.